Greetings everyone, and Great here with another Age Empires 4 replay. Spawn on the north side as the blue House of Lancaster, we got Liquid DeMu. Spawn on the left side as the pink Order of the Dragon, we got El.loueMT. We got a naval map. And what's weird, these guys spawned pretty close by each other. And maybe north of this map, but I don't think they usually spawn this close. Usually it's at least around here. But either way, we do have the dock here. Unique technology for the Order of the Dragon as well as Holy Roman Empire. Gives you a bit of health regen in all combat, which is okay, not great. Basically chivalry at sea. And versus Admiralty, which gives increased range combat for ships by +1, which is the same as the English. One of the few things that House of Lancaster and English actually shares. This unique technology. The only other things they really get shared with is the extra defensive arrow of the town center and the short bows for the villagers. I should turn this over there. And it looks like on this version of the map, looks like Pink's all of his gold spawn behind him. Can't say it's a good or bad thing. Could be locked down, maybe outpost or two. Large stone deposit here. Pumbaa's a little bit exposed. I don't know if that makes a difference, but you can drop off the pork at the sea dock. Blue, of course, doesn't have backside, so he can have a nice, safe economy back here if needed. Pumbaa and deer spawned over here, but generally, on naval maps, I never really go for the food resources on land unless it's like, I'm going to task my villagers there because I actually need food at the moment. Stone deposits are very safe, but the gold deposits are a little up front, so a little bit exposed. House Lancaster is going for the Castle Lancaster. Oh, Abbey Kings. Okay. Wait. This, maybe it's doing this for Medic Aura. I was thinking Castle Lancaster seems like a good default option for extra defense arrows. But this may be needed for the health regen aura to quickly restore stuff. And this is 6 HP that are out of combat. Aachen Chapel employed in the field. That could be very... Yeah, that Aachen Chapel can be very nice. Mineral Palace can be also nice to get the early +1 range damage, which does affect arrow ships. And that actually makes arrow ships the better ship to mass deploy out in Age 2. Since we're making that +1 range damage does actually make them more cost effective. Stupid question. Why did you go for the Lord of Lancaster? Does the Lord Aura affects naval units? I can understand. Okay, it's for a patrolling unit. Expensive patrolling unit. Airship does find this horseman there. Blue has his own airship on the field. Going for a spring gold ship now. Takes out a fishing boat there. 2 aeroships by Blue. Very nice. In short, the airship can, of course, get +1 damage from the blacksmith. Increasing damage, of course, by 5, the burst attack. And you'd be surprised how effective that is in DPS even versus spring gold ships. It actually does make it more cost effective when fighting spring gold ships and spring gold ships versus arrow ships. Assuming all the arrows hit. But it's also a much lower micro, and so you can just use a couple spring gold ships to absorb shots, and then you also have a guaranteed counter to fire ships at all times. Do now another dock being established here. Right now I'm looking at trade post here. This would be a great one for Blue, maybe from a dock over here. This one's too close for Blue, though could do it from over here. But that would be a bit exposed. Got a whole line that Pink could interrupt there. This one and this one's probably best for Pink. Pink could simply put a dock right here and trade with this one. Be very safe. This one here would be too exposed and not that great. Not mentioned going across land. Managed dropping off a villager over here. And that'd be a great spot for trade, whether it be this one or for this one. This one definitely way too exposed with Pink for trading with. Couple spring gold shots there. Right now blue has 2 spring golds, 2 more on the way, 3 arrow ships. Pink has 4 spring gold ships, 1 arrow ship, so pink is a little bit vulnerable to fire ships. Couple hits there. And the aspect for Order Dragon Villager is going to be much better. It's going to be very difficult to calculate with the number of fishing boats, but it looks like pink. Yeah, I'm not going to even bother to try to calculate whose economy is better. I'm just going to put it on this tab here, and we're just going to have to guesstimate based on the income per minute. House of Lancaster can always just pull out some manors back here. Nice and safe, guaranteed resources, but it is expensive to transition that when both players, since naval maps are highly aggressive, you rarely ever see passive naval games. It's always aggressive naval games. And remember as well, Springgold's siege weapons are still counter the naval ships. So if you somehow get knocked back into the land, get some Springgolds. Naval arrow slip being established there. Probably a good idea to go for fire stations, but it is an expensive upgrade. Like Chivalry. But still, ships rarely are in between live or dead. And whatever health they do generate I don't think it would be super great. I don't know, even though it's base the same as Chivalry, I don't think this upgrade is actually super useful. The English player has gone for Admiralty, which means +1 range is a very powerful upgrade. Just +1 range means your ships are just simply better. In this situation, since pink cannot get any counterpart upgrade, they're just simply better. Can't get any unique ships like the French, nor can the House of Lancaster, but the House of Lancaster has a unique upgrade, right? In the King's College. As much as I joke about, oh, you can get that research on insert land map here. What does it do again? It could actually be useful. Improves... I cannot remember. Normal fishing boats. Both players have similar civilian counts. And it comes to income for 2,900, 650. Combine those two, 1,100. Let's just call this 2,100 income. Do 1350, so 1650. Yeah, it feels like all the Dragon's income's far better thanks to Aachen Chapel, likely. Also, Lancaster does have less Springgold ships. One of the King's Coleg now, so 10 can go to college. Let's see, probably could have put the King's College back here to help prevent Annihilation Victory, but then again, if you're at a point where you have to be concerned about Annihilation Victory, you probably have already lost. Get some shots there on that ship. Regni's Cathedral. You know, I have no idea. That's probably the better landmark for Lord of the Dragon. Volgarth Palace improves gives you a cheap, fast-producing barracks. So Regni's Cathedral, if you can double your income from the single relic, and I don't know if players are actually going to take time to get relics on the middle of the map. That's a little bit more difficult. You probably have to get one transport, pick all of them up at once, and hopefully you can get them back home. Stupid question. In Age of Empires 4, if a ship carrying a monk with a relic goes down, does a relic reappear somewhere at the edge of an island, or does it just disappear? I have no idea. We do not have the armored hull, and of course both players aged on up. King's College. What was this upgrade again? Invest into bigger and better hulls. Increase Karak damage, which is the warship, by 20, damage by 20%, health by 15%, and range by 10%. Got it. Requires the age 4, of course. Any of these other upgrades? Wait, in military tactics training, increases the troops' effectiveness in battle by improve the bonus damage by 20%. Does that apply to ships? If it does, that's actually a very powerful upgrade for naval. Better than probably the ship of the crown. So yeah. Not to mention, it does also reduce all the costs of research by 15%, though the White Tower would still provide a nice defensive emplacement. And it looks like Pink started expanding the fishing economy. Blue has not really. Going for another dock now. Looks like both sides have armored hull research now. And the Abbey can provide as a medical aura to help rapidly restore the health of ships. Do you know how the incendiary ships can increase range? Or incendiaries? I know I keep on calling them fire ships. That's because I played a bit too much Age of Empires 3. And not to mention Age of Empires 2 also has fire ships. Just a very different kind. Yeah. We got the increased archer arrow, extra hammocks, so more people will sleep on board. And that means there's going to be a lot more people getting thrown overboard as ships start getting sunk. Drift nets, more drift nets. Small skirmishes on both sides. We do have the health regen out combat, which is appearing to be very effective right now. Oh. Yep, this is going to go a triple relic run. I highly doubt he's going to smash and grab that one. But that will provide a nice steady supply of gold. For the next age, let's see, Wormguard Palace is not going to be super great. Berkshire Palace is probably going to be pretty good if it has a good defense emplacement. Let's pick off that one unit there, very nice. And for Order of the Dragons, Palace of Swab is probably not going to be good, so Elsbach Palace is probably going to be the better option. And you can put that next to some naval docks of arrow slips and then put other defensive outposts nearby, something ranged ships. Something maybe with relics and cannons. Yeah, I can see that being pretty nice. A keep of relic, cannon placement wouldn't be half bad as well. But remember as well, there's actually not too much stone here. 2,400 can be consumed pretty quickly. Though he does have a nice little safe stone deposit back here in the corner, at the edge of the earth. Some good damage there. Got some fire ships being put up both sides. Pretty much all the age 3 upgrades are there. Fire ship getting hit as well. Takes out a number of the fire ships there, very nice. I'm just going to be assuming that Blue has all the naval upgrades as well. Oh, flanking fire ships I did not see. Excellent work there. Got massive hits there. Just called a good chunk of those forces. He's actually built some infrastructure in the center island as well, which also some valuable gold there. But yeah, we do have a couple docks here, both upgraded relics. Definitely should probably get those naval arrow slits there. And one villager there. Maybe sneak some extra villagers for the Elsbach Palace here could be quite nice. That can also secure a route, flanking route to keep that this trade post alive, and then put some trading docks over here for some really good trade. At least getting the relics right there is nice. Maybe best to bring tax them back home. It's hard to say, honestly. But this will help lock down this side of the map. Picking up relic number... Wait. He only picked up one relic, or one. He only brought one monk with him, so he's doing this just to drop off relics, not at home, at other structures. Okay, now I'm understanding what Pink was doing. Very nice. Scout is scouting around. The sacred site's over here. There's actually a lot of foliage preventing entry. Only real entry points right there, so that could be walled in by some stone walls. Yeah, if Pink were to scout out this area, put the monk here, put some stone walls there, and boom, that thing is secure. Blue have to bring actual siege weapon, land siege weapons to break it out. Of course, Pink has to scout out the island, which is actually a little bit easier said than done. Since if we were to switch over to Pink and turn on Fog of War, this is what he sees. He's starting to discover the inlet there of the trees, so like I said, this could be locked in with some stone walls. He has a village on the island as well. He also doesn't see much up here. He does see a single trading post. Has not seen the corner of the earth with that stone deposit and some shorelines there. And for the other player, he is working with no information, is he? But he is working for a Berkshire Palace being established now. And Elsbach Palace is now being deployed in the field. Berkshire Palace will be a great defensive position on this peninsula. And of course, with that, Sacred Site has been revealed to Blue. And looks like Airship's going to be scouting that area. Does not know about the infrastructures right around there. But he does see a massive naval force advancing. Fireship does connect with some of those ships there. And we've got the Berkshire Palace. He needs to get some villagers gears aside to it. 20 of them would help him win this fight. It does do bonus damage versus ships. Various Pink upgrades here, and Pink is starting to fall back now. The Berkshire Palace causing a bit too much issues. Even with warships, it's going to be hard to break through the Berkshire Palace. Elsbach Palace put on the peninsula as well, which does offer a bit more health. There is a naval arrow slit here, so it does offer a bit more protection. Capture the sacred site there. Monk ahead down south. Pink has the upper hand when it comes to feudal control. Do now the ship the crown there. So Blue may be designed for warship transition. Has got them some free... Actually, with these 3 Earl's Guard, throw them inside the Berkshire Palace. Doubles arrow output. Not like they're going to be doing much else. We have the swivel mount cannon there, offering 7 range. Got the swivel mounts here as well. Wonder. He has not researched this, so maybe it doesn't affect naval ships. I want to say yes based on the description. It says military units. Or just says troops. But may not affect ships. For balance reasons, this probably shouldn't affect ships. Since not many civilizations actually have many naval upgrades. And Ship of Crown is already a pretty powerful upgrade, and the El.loueMT as well. Remember as well that swivel mounted cannon does allow for fireground movement as well, and does have a full 360 angle. Blue's ships looks like having a bit of trouble here. Airship's backing on off. He gets all military size 117. We got multiple Carracks on the one field, some more ships. And these swivel-mounted cannons do offer max +1 range from the Admiralty as well, so he does have excellent micro potential, but the DPS is not that great. 17 damage, not that great compared to the Ballista. Though it does have a much higher attack speed, of course. You can see there's the cannon shot. I do wonder, does Lord of Lancaster's aura apply when they're inside of a transport? It'd be a bit difficult, but it could be a great way to multiply the health of his naval fleet. There's some Carracks there. Offering 11 range right now. And right now the Elsbach Palace only has 8 range. He needs to get perhaps... You can get a relic inside of it, right? You can use emergency repairs on it, so probably should do that. King's fleet's falling back. Emergency repairs. Pink does have a secret side victory in 10 minutes. This area, of course, can be walled on in, and this area could also be walled in as well. He's gone for a number of docks. Stone walls would be particularly effective, like I said, because simply put, you'll need to get some siege weapons. And Blue may not have siege engineers readily researched to quickly pull out some battering rams. These Carracks, however, pose a massive threat with the increased health, range, and damage. I don't remember the arrow charger ships ever having incendiary arrows effect for that upgrade. Must be something that was added in one of the balance patches, and I rarely ever cast naval maps. It would make sense. It would have the incendiary arrow effect if they were launching incendiary arrows. Just that wasn't always the case in game. A lot of these ships are taking quite a bit of damage there, trying to fall back to the harbors for a bit of health regen there. Got some Carracks of his own, but they only have 9 range as opposed to 11, which is very, very different. Yeah, House of Lancaster's Carracks are going to be very difficult to deal with. Fire ships probably your best call since they do bonus aim versus broadside. Looks like Blue's fleet's being picked on off by Pink's fleet. Got 7 Carracks versus 8 Carracks. Demolition ship push way forward. Fire ship. Get some good hits there. I remember beforehand, the Springwell ships did offer more DPS than warships when fighting each other. But I don't know with the ship of Crown if he can go for that. I think just going for his own warships. To pull back these wounded ones and pull them back to dock and heal them up. Try to be cost effective. Notice these fire ships largely getting one-shotted by these Carracks. They probably just get 2-shotted. After all, it says 6, but it's actually 3 times 3, 3 on each side. And going for a bit of stone here. And Pink is planting some stone walls there. I don't know. It actually looks like that one is necessary. We'll try and close those secret sites there. And closing those could give him a victory, but all of his landmarks are over on this side, so annihilation victory can be assumed, or a possibility. See, this is Blue's vision right now. He knows where the sacred sites are. Focusing this one would make sense, but he's just now scouting out the island there. We got villagers, king and lords of Lancaster and his Earl's Guard. Nice force there. I don't think Pink never built the stone walls there. Granted, the villagers here would be able to chop it up and no problem. So it looks like the idea of walling in would not be that great. Wait. Okay, Blue's put the scaffolding on top of where Pink's scaffolding perfectly, and I got confused really bad. Sorry, I'm going a little bit crazy about that. Pink has started to wall this stuff all in. Not perfect just yet. So, the threat of sacred site victory is probably going to be no longer existent anymore. Right now, Blue is actually low on food. Has good amount of wood and gold, a small reserve at least. Order the Dragon player has a good mix of all the resources. They just have fire ships being queued on up and a bunch of warships in the field. Looks like Pink does have more warships in the field, but looks like getting picked off one at a time. Pink still has some villagers here, so he could build some production over here and start clearing out the sacred site and build another monastery there. Pink's fleet's starting to fall back. The longer the game goes on, the more I think the Lord House of Lancaster will be in a better position. He so far built 0 manners this game. He could probably also eyeing that and start getting that gold collection, gold income upgrade. Pink does have gold in the center of the map, but not actively collecting this one. Monastery here to pick up those downed relics. This dock has a relic there. That is a transport ship, which could grab the relics and run. Maybe down south. Let's see. Last's wood is being cleaned on up. Nope, there's some more wood over here. How's Blue's wood? Some wood still left on the island, which also would give a suggestion. Manors do generate wood, so maybe going for some manors for all the resources. House Lancaster has a perfect amount of... has 0 stone left. Ah, for this keep, he bought the stone. 12 warships versus 13. 4 on the way, 2 on the way. Blue's now going to be grabbing that relic. And Blue's landed there. Gonna pick up this relic and probably just run away with this force now on the field. Does spot this relic there, gonna claim it. Takes out a fishing boat there. Some of these warships are starting to get knocked out. Uses immense range. Of course, the docks do has equal range to them. The cannon placement has 9.5 range. Probably needs to get a relic inside of it. I'm assuming you can get a relic inside the Elsbach Palace. That dock goes on down. Both sides have pop cap. Pink has a 15 demolition ships in the field. Blue, of course, has some units on ground forces. Tideborn being researched by the House of Lancaster. They have 2 relics. I don't think that's really worth it. Some of these ships are getting hit pretty hard right now. There's some docks here for some health regen, which is very nice. Pink's larger navy's what's helping out. Blue has a lot more civilians in the field. The higher population efficiency, the other dragon villages being very nice. Multiple fire ships connecting here. Some arrow ships here not only draws a bit of damage, but also gets some of the incendiary effect. The incendiary effect I don't believe is really that great. These forces are engaged over here. I just realized there's a tree right there. Not just terrain object. Some of Pink's warships are falling back now. Right now, Pink has an army size of 10,000 versus 10,000. 16 warships versus 11 warships. Definitely this world's filled with warships. Okay, that was a bad pun. There's still this gold deposit Pink could claim. Another bench up. Last this gold deposit just got consumed. This one doesn't have too much left either. Of course, right now blue has 3 relics. Pink only has 2, which is 4 relics. So their golden comes very similar there. No manor is being employed by the House of Lancaster, so it doesn't have the manor gold. We've got a group of villagers now being tasked to build a keep and collect the gold there. 17 villagers is a good number. Fire ships getting some damage over time and drawing some fire there. Here comes a fire ship, does knock it out there. Up north, blue's fleets are getting split up in half. They have similar Karak numbers. Ships heading down south, but since blue's military or navy is split up, it's going to cause some issues for blue. It looks like Pink did lose a good number of ships there. None of these ships are quite wounded, falling back. A lot of this chivalry work could be nice, but does give opponents more time to breathe. Blue right now has a higher destroyed value than Pink by 20,000, which is significant right now. Naval arrow slip being researched. Sort of wish they would change this icon a little bit, but put a little anchor right there to incentivize naval arrow slip rather than a regular arrow slip. By the way, 27 villagers collecting this gold, and not to mention there's another gold deposit for him to clean on up. Blue's infested this island, collecting up a lot of wood. Needs more lumber camps mixed around though. Blue right now has a massive stockpile of wood and some gold and food to work with, but not too much. It has another good massive stockpile of wood, but also very low in food and has some gold to work with. Fire ship does get knocked out there. I should push forward. I think I just heard Lord of Lancaster went down. More of Pink's naval ships are moving over here, but getting intercepted by some blue ships there. Blue has these ships there, and Pink's gonna fall back. 8 warships remaining, 3 fire ships. While Blue has 13 Carracks, and Pink has no real counter to them. Oh. Looks like Carrack got hit here by some fire ships. And it looks like Blue's starting to deploy in some naval trade ships. See, what will Pink need to do to turn this game around? Without fighting against the upgraded Carracks with the crown of the ship over its gold, Spring Gold ships were more cost-effective than Carracks. But I'm not sure with it. See, if the Spring Gold ships did like 38 damage per shot, minus by 7, we'll just round it to a nice even 30. I mentioned I have that Pinto mount there, which would be reduced down to 10 damage per shot, so 30 damage was roughly like 10 DPS with another 5 in Pinto mount. Whereas the KRX is 54 times 3 divided by 5. So about 30 DPS? Roughly. Yeah, the Spring Gold ships may be a bit more cost effective. I just don't have all the numbers off the top of my head or in front of me. Because right now, the longer the game goes on, the worse off the Order Dragon player will be at. He's trying to raid the flanks here, but what he needs to do is raid this. Though he has established a presence here, now trying to collect this gold. Him stealing this gold is actually probably will make him perhaps win the game. Denying that gold to his opponent and simply outlast his opponent's economy. One relic difference is not too massive. 1 secret site or 0 secret site difference does not matter, but Blue has gotten some trader ships in the field. Which looks like they do a split 50-50. Do we have any trading ships over here for Pink? Doesn't look like it. Probably should eye some. And could have a better trade path as well. 1,700 left there, 5,000 here. So Pink will need it. There's going to be a big fight around this gold deposit relatively soon. But right now, Ellsbach Palace is getting nailed pretty hard there. Emergency repairs has been consumed. Ellsbach Palace being a landmark only consumes wood and repairs, so that's good for Pink. Right now, House of Lancaster has 16 military ships in the field. And I'm assuming you can't get the relic inside the Ellsbach Palace. If it does, he may be able to defend itself with increased range from the relic, at least for the cannon. There's a lot of stuff hitting him. Right now, the Carrax can simply just outrange the ship, the Ellsbach Palace itself. Yeah, got ripped apart there. Now the village is going down. And I think that's the point of time where Pink may need to throw in the towel. He's having trouble with production. Some idle villagers there. There's 22 Carracks on the field. Looks like the Blue deleted some civilians. I see no... He's deleted all the villagers on the mainland. Not much wood or any wood left there, so they were not being super useful either way. Could have got some manors out before he deleted them. Probably would have been a good idea to get the manors out. He has plenty of resources for the manors. These villagers do find the keep there. I side went for the final gold technology to increase gold drop-off. Pink has gained some victories over here, but Blue's fleet is just crushing down south. There's nothing here to stop them. I mean, she's losing a good number of docks. Idle villagers here, which just meant for wood collection at this point in time. There's some gold here as well. Let's see, Pink does need gold and wood. Yeah, I have a feeling Pink's gonna be throwing the tower relatively soon. Trebuchet's engaging. They do bonus damage versus ships, but you still want to do sprinkles. They still have the old bonus damage versus ships before their rework. It does cleave through all these ships here, but he already had replacements already in dry dock. Those are not trade ships, these are fishing ships. Those inside the keep, although those do nothing. I think Pink just maybe a little bit idle. I'm gonna fast forward a little bit there. I think Pink's just sort of just idle right now. And Pink does resign. As Angrade saying, thank you for watching, and on to next replay.